All right, here we go. How I finally succeeded. And yes, I feel awkward talking about this. Hey there, it's Kevin Ward with a special episode of Kevin is 7. Welcome and good morning. Um, so I was just thinking about my own journey and how I got to where I am today and how long it took me to get here. And I just was thinking, you know what? A lot of people are like, how do you be successful? How do you really get to where you can be successful and succeed long term and create not only a great income, but also the life that you want? And so first, I'm going to just tell you that I am still on the journey. Okay, I do not feel like I have arrived. Like I have succeeded. Yes, here's what I feel like. I am succeeding. Okay, so there's like some people say like, are you successful? Yes, I am successful. Have you succeeded? Well, I have succeeded, but I am succeeding is probably more accurate. It's like I am continuing the journey. So I'm not like I have arrived. I look at people that I mentor with, that I model, that I'm like, they're so far ahead of me. I'm like, I seem like I have, 1,000 miles to go. But from where I've come, growing up in a mobile home of really being taught, just go to school, get a good education, get a job. And my parents never made $100,000 in a year. And combined, I think the very end, my parents were probably making over $100,000 a year. My dad was a superintendent of schools and my mom was a school teacher. I think there was a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years, they made over $100,000 together in a year working full time. And this was after a 30, 35, 40 year career. And it was not my path. I tried working for other people. I was in Christian ministry. I was a preacher. Not a great way to make a lot of money. I'm not saying you can't be successful at it, but if money is a criteria for you, that was probably not the path for me. But I tried doing what other people wanted me to do. I'm gonna tell you what kept me from succeeding at first. Okay, here's what kept me from succeeding at first. I was trying to do what everybody else wanted me to do. This is how you guarantee you fail. Let's just start with this. How do you guarantee you fail? Try to do what everybody else wants you to do. Spend your life trying to live up to what your parents' expectations are and other people, because they were like, when I was a little kid, my dad was a preacher for a while, and people go like, you should be a preacher like your dad when you grow up. You'd be so good at it and you help people. And that's what they'd tell me. And I remember Sister Moore at our church, little bitty church, country church. It's closed now. The church, I said, it's just little dying towns. And I'm like, these were dying dreams. And like, they wanted me to do what they wanted me to do. And I tried to do that. And then I decided I like real estate. I loved real estate. I'd found this passion for real estate. I also loved teaching. So when I was in ministry, I loved teaching people. I loved that. When I got into real estate, I'm like, I like real estate. And then I just burned my life to the ground. I was very successful in real estate in terms of building a successful business, making a lot of money counts. Then I was successful. I wasn't the most successful, but I'm like, okay, for a little country boy, an introverted country boy that grew up in a mobile home 1.5 miles from a paved road, and we had one stoplight in our entire town. I'm like, okay, I've been successful. But I would build and then I would burn. I would build and then burn, build and burn, build and burn. So if you've ever done this, like you've tried doing something, it was going pretty good, and then it burned to the ground. Either you burned it to the ground or you burned out or something burned it to the ground. If you've ever had that happen, type in the comments, build and burn. Build and burn, build and burn. This is what I hated. I would find something and I'd be like great at it or do well and it'd be everything going good. And then something would come along that stopped it. Now, usually it was me. Usually I would get into a conflict or a confrontation. I would not face confrontation, I would run away. And I'd run away from conflict, so things would go bad. So here's what changed for me. What finally turned for me was in 2011, after the economic collapse, 2008, 9, and 10, when I went into survival mode and I pretty much lost everything. I lost everything. I mean, we lost everything. And then kind of scratched our way out of it. And we're like, okay, we're doing okay. We're making it. We're surviving. And then I'm tired of surviving. And I went to 2 events back to back on 2 weekends. I went to Tony Robbins. First I went to T. Harv Ekker's Millionaire Mind Intensive. This was in October of 2011. I went to T. Harv Eker Millionaire Mind Intensive, because I knew this. I knew how to make money, but I didn't know how to have money because I knew I had money issues. Because I had this idea in my subconscious mind from programming, from my teaching growing up, being brought up, was basically money was evil and being rich was evil. If you were rich or had a lot of money, then you were either greedy or you were materialistic or worldly. You probably weren't going to go to heaven. And I'm not a preacher anymore, but I still want to go to heaven. I still believe in God, and I still have a relationship with God, and I still want to go to heaven. So I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person. I want to help people, but I want to make a lot of money. I just want it. So here's what finally happened for me. So first I just had this, I'm done surviving. I will no longer survive, and I'm going to go out and I am going to fight for my dreams. I've always had big dreams. Okay. I've always had big dreams. I'm making some notes here because I just thought of this. I wanted to add something to it. Hang on. Okay, good. So first thing was I made this shift and I'm like, I am going to go after my dream. I'm not going to go after what everybody else wants me to do anymore. I'm going to go after what I want to do. And I'm going to be true to myself, and I'm going to follow my passion. I like teaching. I've always liked teaching. So I loved real estate, and I love teaching people. So I'm like, how do you put that together? Coach real estate. I'm good at real estate, and I'm good at teaching. Let's just put it together. And so I'm like, okay, so number one, I just said, I'm going to go after my dream, and I'm going to go after it. And I'm not going to worry about what other people think. Number two is I found what I was passionate about. Like I really found a path. Guys, you got to try. I'm just like, I think you should try stuff. Try it. If it doesn't work, do something else. But don't stay stuck in a thing forever, staying stuck where you are not happy. I found something that I was like, this is what I'd wanted to do for years, finally worked up the courage to do it, and I'm gonna do it. Okay? If you are still looking for your passion, keep looking. And like, well, I don't know what I want. You got to figure that out. That's a huge piece of the work. So I found what I wanted. Okay, so number one is I said, this is my dream. I'm going to go for my dream, and I'm going to fight for my dream. I will never give it up. I'm like, I know, and then I found my passion. Next, I went all in. Now, I'm kind of crazy like this. I'm like, good morning, everybody. By the way, as you come on, type where you're from. It's good to see you guys. I just want to acknowledge you. Yes, Carl, I was a preacher. I know you guys are going to come to Agent Mastery Live and you're going to train with me. You're going to go like, you don't talk like a preacher. No, I don't talk like a preacher. Okay. And so I used to be a preacher. The way I say it, Carl, is I was a preacher. I used to be a priest. Today I'm a prophet. So I went from being a priest to a prophet. What's the difference between a priest and a prophet? A priest teaches you how to be religious. A prophet tells you the truth. So that's, if you go back in the Bible, for those of you that believe in the Bible and are Christians and are Jews or whatever, the Bible, you had your priests and you had your prophets. The priests taught people how to be religious. The prophets told people what they needed to hear, not what they wanted to hear, but they always told them the truth. And I'm like, I'm a prophet today. So that's how I see myself. So yes, Carl, I'm not a preacher anymore. I am a prophet. Okay. So let's see. But here's what most prophets did is they pissed everybody off. So just I literally had somebody that's like, oh, I didn't like your language. So they literally asked for a refund on their Agent Master Live ticket. I'm like, I get it. I'm going to train the way I know gets results. So anyway, that's a different conversation. Okay. If you don't have a ticket yet, go to agentmasterylive.com, get your ticket before prices go up. We have our New Year's special going on right now. You want to go get your ticket, Agent Mastery Live, come train with me. Okay. So number one, I decided I'm going to fight for my dream. Number two, I found my passion. This is what I've been wanting to do deep down inside. I just got to go do it. Number three, I went all in. And this is how I do it. I just go all in on stuff. When I started real estate, I went all in. I quit preaching, went all into real estate, full time, no backup plan. I didn't have savings. I didn't have any plan B. I went all in full time day one. It was tough. I did the same thing on the coaching business. It was even tougher because not only did I not have any money or have any savings, I had massive debt. I had massive expenses. I had massive child support back for my 3 daughters in Texas. I had debt. I had a bad business debt from a previous business. I had back taxes. I was in like a horrible place. Financially, I was in a horrible place. But I knew this is what I want, so I went all in. Okay. And number four, I ignored everything and everyone else. Guys, if you want to be successful, this is what you got to be willing to do. And you got to be able to do this. You got to make sure it's something you're passionate about. You got to be willing to fight for it. You got to go all in, and then you just put on the blinders and you ignore everything and everyone else. If you want it, you got to be laser focused on your definite major purpose. Your focus has got to be crystal clear. And then you just put on the blinders and you had no plan Bs, no critics, people who are like skeptics, or your family is trying to protect you, and they're going like, are you sure, honey, maybe? That I had people, I didn't have any, the only person that supported me when I started my coaching business was my girlfriend, Julie, who's now my wife. She was the only person that believed in me, supported me. I had I knew agents, people that follow me, they believed in me, but I'm just saying, like, all the people, the agents that already knew me, the brokers and all that, they're like, why don't you're Keller Williams, why don't you go be a Keller Williams map coach? You know, they already have the program and you don't have to go through all this. I'm like, that's not what I want. That's not my path. And so I just ignored everything and everyone else. I couldn't pay my bills. I just ignored it. Okay. I would get up in the morning. I would go to Starbucks because I lost everything after I got going. And Julie even broke up with me because I couldn't pay the bills. And so I'm renting a bedroom in a rundown apartment complex in Los Angeles. I'm sleeping on an air mattress with no furniture. And I'm getting up in the mornings and I'm going to Starbucks and I'm spending the day buying one Starbucks, maybe two Starbucks for the day, so I can sit there all day and on my computer and create. And then I would sneak into my Keller Williams office at night and record videos. Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in the apartment I was living in because it was a piece of crap. I couldn't do it at Starbucks. And I don't remember, I had a flip camera, and I was just like, I didn't have anything, but I just ignored it all. And I was just like, I'm all in. And I hated it. I just want you to understand, guys, if you're going to be successful, you're going to hate it at times. There's going to be many times you're going to hate it. There's still today. I still have days I'm like, I hate this. I hate what I got to do. I hate how I feel. I'm like, things aren't going the way I want here, or this is happening, or that's happening. I have to make a decision here that I don't want to make, and I hate it. There are days you're going to hate what you do. There are days you're going to hate what you have to do. Okay, there are days you're going to be doing stuff you don't want to do it, and there are days you're going to be afraid. Guys, you're never going to not be afraid. Like I hated the criticism. I hated being alone. Like I felt like I was all by myself. Nobody to help me. Nobody believed in me. Nobody supported me. But I was like, I'm just ignoring that and I'm going, because this is what I want to do. I just ignored everything else. Number 5, I invested in myself. I invested in myself. I was like, I need help. I need all the help I can get to do this. So it was with Julie, my girlfriend, we had invested in a business program called Quantum Leap. What was it called? Quantum Leap. Peak Potential is Quantum Leap. This came out of T. Harv Eker's training back in the day. And so I had some stuff I'd already paid for. And it was actually Julie's money that paid for it, even though we broke up. Her money had paid for it, so we still had it. So I'm like, I went and I would go to everything that I could, every training they had. I went to everything that I could. And then I'm like, I need somebody to train me on how to make money as a coach and as a speaker. So I got this free ticket because that was all I could afford. I got a free ticket to an event that, and I wasn't all I could afford. It's just like, I got 3 tickets. So I'm like, I'm going. And so I went to this thing called Big Money Speaker. And I found my coach. I'm like, this is the guy. First day, I'm like, I got it. Whatever his coaching program is, I got to get in it. And it was $15,000. Now I'm renting a bedroom and paying $200 a month rent. That's how broke I am. And I will not write. Couldn't even write a check. I would give her $200 cash because if I wrote a check, it would bounce. So I would give her cash and I would pay my rent. And this was $15,000. And I didn't have any credit cards because by then, through the collapse, when I lost everything, I lost my credit. So I spent every dime off my business, out of my business account, my personal account. I had less than $100 left to my name in my accounts when I signed up for that coaching program, and I just made the first month's payment. And it was like $1,500 a month. And I was like, I got to do this. I don't have money. I got to do it. And I knew I would do it, and I knew I needed it. And so I was willing to invest in myself. I rented that bedroom, and I stayed in that bedroom for another 4 months, sleeping on an air mattress. Instead of getting out of that situation, I'm like, I'm going to invest in myself. I can sleep on an air mattress. I'll be fine. I can get up. I can go to Starbucks. But I need somebody to help me. So I invested in myself. Massive. That was probably the best decision I ever made. And I rented lost everything in August. I was sleeping on an air mattress. In January, I went to this event and hired James to be my coach for $15,000 for the year. And by May, I was making more money. Okay, now I'm making some money, and I was able to get out of that and get a condo with Julie. We got back together. And by July that year, and remember, this is July, and then it was actually August was my first month where I made so much, I made enough money that I was like, I was not broke anymore. And since that day, I've never been broke again. And that was in 2000, that was now 2013. August 2013 was the last time, or July was the last time I was broke. And I was like, I was paying bills now, but I was still behind. I was still had debt. I still had child support. But when that happened in August 2013, I was never broke again. Now, guys, you got to understand something. I started the dream for my coaching company was in November of 2011. That's when I decided to do it. That's when I started. Okay, I started working on it in November 2011. I gave notice at the end of November to my job as Keller Williams team leader that I'm starting a coaching company. I'm going to quit. I'll wait till you guys find a replacement. Then I'm going out and doing this. I started in November of 2011. I launched my coaching program on April the 10th, 2012. So it was nearly 6 months of work before I even launched, meaning before I made a penny. And I made $900 in my first webinar where I got my first coaching members. I made $800. I made $800. I had 9 people sign up for $89 a month. So it's a little over $800. That was in April of 2012. I was broke and I didn't make real money until August 2013. So you're talking from November 2011 to August 2013, I was building a business. And I was making little bits of money, but I wasn't really profitable for nearly 2 years. So people are like, well, I'm going to give it 3 months. Guys, 3 months, I hadn't even figured out how to build a website. You got to you got to be willing to go all in and ignore everything. You invest in yourself. And then I'm going to give you 2 last things. The 6th thing is I declared my belief in myself. And what that meant was I was doing daily declarations. I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. I was doing daily declarations every day, declaring my belief in myself until I finally believed it. Meaning I was so scared. I was nervous. I did not have confidence. I did not have people, backing me and believing in me. And I had coaching members, and I'm like, I've got to believe in myself and sow belief into them until I believe it. And so daily declarations was a major part of my life. And I just remember what Muhammad Ali said. He said, he was the one that said, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He said, people don't realize that I said, I am the greatest, that I was chanting, I am the greatest long before I even knew that I was. That was how he started. He came onto the scene. I am the greatest. We weren't the greatest, but that was his belief and that was his declaration. So I declared my belief long before I had the belief. So they say fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about lying to yourself. I'm talking about choosing to believe when you don't feel the belief. Like I chose to believe in myself and declared belief in myself, even when my emotions were going like, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm like, yes, I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. And I declared the belief. I declared what I wanted. I declared, I can remember having a declarations. I abundantly have over $10,000 in cash in the bank at all times. Because when I signed up for coaching, I had less than 100. And I was like, if I could just get over $10,000 in the bank and stay over $10,000 in the bank, which meant every month I knew I had at least the next month's bills paid. I'm like, that would be great. So that was a declaration. I abundantly have over $10,000 in cash in the bank at all times. Because even when you don't have it, you have to declare that you have it. You've got to declare the belief. You've got to declare the commitment. You've got to declare the courage. And then you live into that declaration. So it's not fake it till you make it, because fake is fake. That's BS. Okay? I am declaring the new truth. I am creating my story. Okay? It's like I'm building a house. Well, when you say I'm building a house, the house isn't built already. But are you building? Yes. Building a house. Okay, cool. I'm building a business. I don't have a business, but I'm building it. Okay? So declarations, I declared my belief until I believed it. So you guys should be typing this. I should have you just typing this in the comments, what these are. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Number one, you got to fight for your dream. Number two, you got to find your passion. Number three, you got to go all in. Number four, ignore everything and everyone else. Number five, invest in yourself. Number six, declare your belief until you believe it. And now number seven, and the last thing is that as I grew it, I paid attention to my entire life, to all the stuff that was happening in my life. Which one of these is most impactful for you? Of these 7 things I've shared with you, which one is most impactful for you? Type it in the chat. Is it fighting for your dream, having the courage to fight for your dream? Is it finding your passion? Is it your commitment to go all in? Is it learning to ignore other people's opinions and everybody else's, all that stuff? Just ignore everything else, put on the blinders and go like, boom, I'm going. Is it investing in yourself? By the way, if you're a real estate agent, guys, you got to invest in yourself. Now, one of the easiest investments is come to Agent Mastery Live. Go to agentmasterylive.com, get your New Year's Eve or New Year's special on the ticket. The price, the ticket is still, it's only $297 to spend not only 3 days with me, but also to be coached by me for the rest of January. Okay, agent, so go invest in yourself. Number 6 is I declare my belief until I believed it. Okay, good, I love it. I'm all in, I'm investing in myself. Beautiful, Simon, awesome. The mortgage game is coming to Agent Mastery Live. Yes, so we actually have mortgage people coming to Agent Mastery Live. Why? Because what it takes to be successful as a real estate agent, same thing it takes to be successful as a loan officer. And then 7, pay attention to your entire life. Like what I did when I started real estate was I just got into real estate. I focused solely on real estate. It was just focused making money. And my life burned to the ground around me. I wasn't taking care of my marriage. I wasn't taking care of my spiritual well-being. I was living in a lie, and I started having an affair. And that's what burned my life to the ground on my first climb to success as a real estate agent. And when I started my coaching company, I'm like, okay, I am on the climb now to success. I'm making a lot of money. So I went from sleeping on an air mattress to making hundreds of thousands of dollars to making $1 million in a year to making millions in a year to becoming a multimillionaire today. And I'm not there. I'm like, every day is still, I'm still fighting for my dreams. I still have to make sure I'm clear about my passion. I got to be all in. All the things that I had to do to get you here, you have to keep doing to get you there. Okay. And I still invest in myself. I spend more money today in coaching than I've ever spent before. In having coaches and mentors and trainers is I know that I must continue to invest in myself. I still do daily declarations every day. Because there are still days that I don't feel it. I don't want to do it. I'm so stressed. I'm in pain. I'm terrified. Yes, you don't ever stop being terrified, guys. If you're like, I just want to get over my fear. Nope, you don't get over your fear. You live with your fear. Okay? It's like I got a puppy. Okay? I'm trying to get him trained so he's perfect. He's always going to be a dog, but he's going to be my companion. So fear is my companion. I just say, hey, fear, good morning. Now, give me some energy. Let's go. But we're not going to negotiate. I don't negotiate with fear. Look, fear, punch it in the face. If it acts up, we're going. And I deal with fear, and you go with fear. You don't overcome it. You go in spite of it. All right, that's a separate conversation. All right, guys, thank you for being with me this morning. If this has been helpful for you, make sure you like the video here. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Expansion, rising up to what God has called us to. Absolutely. Yes. Simona, I'm your virtual mentor. Awesome. Yes. Agent Mastery Live, you can attend virtual or you can attend in person as well. Beautiful. Love it. Commitment to go all in. Great job. I'm just looking at this. Okay, I said it one more time. Good. Chanting sounds interesting. Yes, Manuel. If you have not been chanting declarations, guys, it's called the power of autosuggestion in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, but it is proven powerful. Okay, guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow this is weekend. This is Friday. I'll see you on Monday for the next episode of Kevin to 7. Have a great weekend. Play to win and always expect yes.